Look, don't shoot me. I'm just a messenger. Now, I got a quick question. What happens when two parents separate, but both of them still love their child and both of them still want to be involved? Meaning, who decides where the child lives, who pays child support, and does mother and fathers really have equal rights? Well, guess what? Today, I'm breaking down how child support, how mediation, and how joint custody actually works in Georgia. Now, the reason why I'm doing this message is because the truth is, many parents walk into the court confused and then they leave out feeling like the system decided their life. But when you understand the process, you're not only protecting your rights, you're protecting your relationship with your child. So let's break it down. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the goal of family courts in Georgia, right? And the first thing you need to understand is this. The court is not supposed to choose a winner and a loser. We have to get that clear right now. What the court focuses on is something called the best interest of the child. Now, this is when judges ask questions like, which parent is more involved? Who provides more stability? Can the parents cooperate? And what environment benefits the child the most? In most places, the courts in like DeKalb or Fulton County, they want both parents involved, and that's why joint custody is common. Speaking of joint custody, let's get a better understanding of what that really is. You see, a lot of people misunderstand custody. They think it's who the child lives with, but there's actually two types of custodies. And that's one, legal custody, which means you have the power of decision making. Now, this includes decisions about medical care, education, religion, and even the activities the child is involved in. Now, in many Georgia cases, the court normally orders joint legal custody. This means both parents share the major decisions. However, one parent may have final decision authority if there is a disagreement. Then we have number two, which is physical custody. Physical custody is simply where the child is living at most of the time. Now for this, there are usually different physical arrangements. For example, the child may live with one parent and visit the other. Or you can do 50-50 custody where the child spends equal time with both parents. Most families use schedules like 1 week on, 1 week off, get them on the weekends or every other weekend, or even doing 2 days on, 2 days off. The goal is to keep both parents involved in the child's life during the separation. All right, now let's talk about what mediation is and why it matters. Now, before the custody case goes before any judge, the courts normally require something called a mediation. And a mediation is when a neutral third person helps parents reach a compromisable agreement on how they're going to raise the child. Their job is to help the parents work out things like parenting schedule, holidays, transportation, communication rules, and child support. And if the parents reach an agreement, this becomes a court order. But if they can't reach an agreement, what happens is that the judge decides everything, and trust me, you lose all control of the results. This is why mediation is one of the most important moments in a custody case. All right, now that we got through the mediation part, let's talk about how child support really works. And I say that because many people think child support is just a random number that the courts pick. But that's not how it works in Georgia. You see, Georgia uses a child support guideline formula. Now, in this child support guideline, the courts looks at things like incomes of both parents, health insurance costs, child care expenses, number of children involved, parenting time, and even in 50-50, one parent may still pay support. And if you're asking why, it's because the system is trying to make sure that the child has similar financial stability in both homes. So for example, if one parent makes more money significantly, they may have to still contribute financially. Now, child support usually covers housing, food, clothing, school needs, and just basic living expenses for the child. You see, the goal is not to punish the parent. The goal is to be able to help support the child. All right, now the next thing I want to talk about is the parenting plan. In Georgia, the courts require you go through something called the parenting plan. What this is a detailed roadmap for raising a child after the separation. Now, this is going to include things like weekly schedule, holiday schedule, summer schedule, transportation rules, and decision-making authority. Now, once the judge approves the parent plan, now the plan can become legally enforceable, meaning both parents must follow it or be subjected to the consequences. Now what I want to talk about is the rights of both parents, because here's something very important that most parents don't even realize. Even if one parent has physical custody, the other parent still has rights. For example, if you're a father and the child lives with the mom, you still have rights to access school records, medical records. You should be able to attend school events, be able to communicate with the child, and be able to make important decisions involving the child. You see, courts generally want the children to have a relationship with both parents if it's safe. Now, let me give you the 3 mistakes that always hurt parents when they go to court. Number 1, fighting instead of cooperating. Judges can always tell when parents cannot work together. Always remember this: the parent who shows more maturity always will seem stable. Number 2, using the child as leverage. Remember this golden rule: never involve a child in an adult conflict. The courts take this very serious. And number 3, not preparing for a mediation. You see, many parents walk into a mediation so unprepared. So when you arrive to your mediation, you should already know what schedule you want, what you're willing to compromise and agree on, and what is best for the child. You see, preparation will always give you leverage. At the end of the day, what we need to remember: child custody is not about what parent is going to win the war. It's about protecting the future of the child. And understanding joint custody, mediation, and child support in Georgia helps you walk into the process not only prepared, but also calm and informed. And when parents handle this the right way, children still get what they need most: 2 parents that love them and that will be involved in their life. So if this video helped you understand how custody works in Georgia, please subscribe for more content, because we're going to be talking about family dynamics, personal development, and relationships that last. And if you know anybody who's going through a battle of custody right now, please share this with them so they can have a little bit more clarity when they really need it. As always, I hope this message helped at least one person. I will be back at you again tomorrow with another one. Until then, I need you to keep your head on the swivel, love yourself, and only help who wants to be helped. I love y'all. I'm out!